Hey people, this is Shay McClure with Heroclix Borderlands coming to you. Hey, I'm starting this new thing I call a mini pod. Mini pod means that it's not a full podcast. What it is a smaller version of a podcast. I'm putting it out on YouTube. It's only about 10 minutes. Trying to keep between 10 and 15. It's kind of my think tank. It's where I'm going to kind of share some insights I have into some figures, some thoughts I have about how I want to think they can work, how teams kind of play that I've played, and just hopefully generate some thinking about figures in new ways and maybe in your team building and the way you play the game. So it's not taking the place of my regular podcast. My regular podcast is still found on iTunes and Podbean. I just wanted to put out something out on YouTube that might be more accessible and easier for people to get to. So this is my first mini pod, and this is the think tank. This whole mini pod series is just about a think tank. And the first group of figures I want to go over, and that's right, a group of figures. I ended up playing my friend Mark last night with these figures. They're found in the What If set. The figures are the Young Avengers or the Runaways. Yes, I put that team together. I got it to 300 points. An easy way to get 300 points is you have 75-point Niku, 75-point Carolina Dean, you got the 50-point Chase Stein, you got the 50-point Molly Hayes, and you have the 50-point Gertrude and Old Lace, or I think that's it. So you have those five equals 300 points. Now I went up against a Chase Hulk from Avengers Defenders War and a Punisher, the Shifting Focus one, and the Shifting Focus Doctor Strange. Not a great matchup, and I ended up going on the cargo map. Now I can go ahead and tell you this team operates pretty good. I really love the Gertrude and Old Lace combo. That is what I gotta say is it was kind of fun being able to run this Raptor out there that can really do some significant damage and has a high attack value, and not worry about him getting killed one-shotted. So that ability and her ability to sit in the back and just take tokens off people if she can make her leadership role, which I think is huge for this team. One downside to this Runaways team is that their lack of mobility. Molly has a charge with the ability, the way we played last night, is she has the ability to charge and use her close combat expert as a close combat action, which I believe pairs well with charge, meaning that she can charge in there and do 5 damage. She only has a 10 attack. We're going to find out, what I found out was with this Runaways team, there's low attack values. And Nico Marunu is, you're just going to have to be able to pick 2 powers. She has the ability to pick 2 powers. For you to be able to do that, you have to be very careful because they can't be in the same slot. Meaning you can't pick a speed power twice in a row. You can't pick an attack power twice in a row. You can't pick a defensive power twice in a row. Or a damage power twice in a row. So you have to pick her spots and kind of go through how you're going to get her maximum use. Caroline Dean is probably one of your better attackers, though she's a little squishy. She gets hit. She doesn't have a great attack value of 10. She does have a running shot. She does have decent range. Nico has decent range. She has a 6. Carolina has a 7. So overall, the team looks like it'd be pretty good. As a theme team, it's really neat. As a just casual team, I kind of like it. You can put them down and people recognize this group of superheroes. Easy team put together. However, they're not going to shine in a 300-point game. Not in a theme format. They're way too lack of movement. They lack movement. They lack the ability to kind of get each other going. Their swing, meaning that the ability to swing out there, is kind of limited. Probably what I should have done is not played on the cargo map, because once I knocked Hulk onto his ignores blocking train, he just went wild. But this isn't about Hulk. This is about this review of this team. I think they're a great casual team. I think in a higher point game, where you compare them with some other Avengers, like they're mentoring with these other Avengers, they can actually become a little bit more dangerous, because the ability of the T-Rex to run around. Well, it's not really a T-Rex, more like a raptor, run around Old Lace just to go around with 11 attack, 10 charge with blades, 17 defense with toughness, and 2 damage with empower. He becomes this kind of chaotic character that you just can't handle. You're going to have to do 5. You're going to have to hit him 5 times to knock Gertrude out. And once she's out, then you can take him out. But he's just not going to die. So he's almost like a great tie piece that can go up there and just deal a lot of damage. What you would need to go with that is a instant healer. If you get an instant healer, I mean, this is only 50 points. So if you kind of think about it, you're getting a 50-point figure that can sit in the back, be healed, say with a night nurse, that's 70 points. And you can run this Pog out, and it can't be killed. And I believe it might even count towards, like when he pushes, because he doesn't have end dom. So when he pushes, I'm wondering if that damage can be transferred back to her. I'd have to look at the card. Anyway, did I enjoy playing them? Yes. What are their weaknesses? Their attack values are low. Chase, their attack values are low, except for Carolina. Their defenses are low. There's not any end dom on the team. Some have willpower. And there's limited healing. I think in a bigger point game they could make some differences. They seem like a team of just pure support with not enough primary attackers. So looking at a larger game, or what I'm going to need to do is take the starter set Nico and see how that one would fit in with this team. Maybe it would do better. Because the current Nico, I don't know. Her usefulness is a lot harder. Her pickup power's a lot more limiting, and her base stats are not that good. And when they get hit, they don't get much better. Chase drops down. Chase has his Quake power. Molly has her great being able to do your knockback power. Carolina has the running shot and the ability to defend and protect. I didn't run into a lot of instances where my attack values, I rolled a 1. They do have the ability to re-roll when they're beside each other adjacent, re-roll a dice if it has a 1 on it. But that was kind of sporadic at best. Fun sculpts, fun looking team. I think it's going to work better above 300 points because you can bring in a couple other Avengers, kind of flesh that team out and let them do what they do best, which is support. As a team itself, casually, great to run, limited mobility, understand what you're getting into. You're going to have to be very careful of your placement, and you're going to have to use chases per plex. However, I do believe of that crew, Gertrude and Old Lace, I'm probably butchering the name on it, but that one has the potential, I believe, to be a very annoying piece that maybe somebody can break. Caroline Dean, I like her for her ability to move, running shot, pulse, running shot, psychic blast with the fin, barrier, 7 range. 7 range, yeah. That's going to make her viable as a secondary attacker for any team, and only at 75 points. And with the Avengers team ability, which is underestimated in this age of swarm teams, the ability to move for free. You still have to take a power action, but it doesn't count against your action total. And with the new advent of leadership, which Gertrude Lace have, and her ability to take tokens off of characters no matter where they're at on the board, as long as she shares the Runaways keyword with her, that's pretty cool. So I say, go out and try them. I think they're going to work better in the higher point game. I really think Gertrude can be broken. I'd like to see some people go try it. For 50 points, it's worth a shot. And I think Carolina's going to be a good secondary attacker. So that's my look on those. I got destroyed in that game. Here's a lesson learned. Make totally sure, when you're facing the Avengers Defenders War Hulk, if you're going to hit him, make sure you can hit him 3 times in a row. You're going to have to hit him for 4 to begin with to knock him onto his stop click. And then you're going to have something that can knock him 3 clicks past. Because he's a little bit more manageable. Now, he can still do a Quake for his full damage. However, he becomes more manageable. It is in that clicks 3, 4, and 5 that he can really dominate a game. So it's going to be important that you can hit a Avengers Defenders War Chase Hulk 3 times in a row. You got to get him to his stop click. You're going to have to get him past his clicks where he can't be outwitted, and then you can work on him at his end of his dial. So without healing, that Hulk, once he's past the first 5 clicks, becomes a lot more manageable for your team. So remember, when you're going to hit him, you better be able to hit him 3 times in a row and be able to get through some stuff. Hey, this is Shay. This is my mini pod. This is our think tank. YouTube, new start to our new YouTube episodes. I'll talk to y'all later. Remember, no matter what, keep thinking of new ways to get these figures more involved in the game. I'll talk to you later.